This rather exotic bamboo isn't something you'd normally associate with a traditional English garden, but it's part of one of the most impressive plant collections in the country. Find out where I am in just a few moments. Today I'm with a London couple whose children have flown the nest and are looking forward to setting up a country life very much on their own terms. So will our lineup of properties ever be able to impress them?
I'm waiting for the wow bit.
Right, OK. Wow, this isn't as big as I'd hoped. There it is. And will they go with the flow when it comes to style?
Bit of a bath thing going on behind me.
This is part of the world. A lot of people like to sleep where they bathe and vice versa. Today, I'm in Gloucestershire at the Batsford Arboretum near Morton-in-Marsh. It was established towards the end of the 19th century by the first Baron Redesdale, grandfather to the infamous high society Mitford sisters. Influenced by his travels to the Far East, he set about radically redesigning the estate, incorporating Oriental landscapes, and in the process became an expert in bamboo, and actually established one of the first bamboo collections in the UK. Many of his prized trees can still be admired by visitors to this beautiful place today. Gloucestershire sits in the southwest of England, where the River Severn flows into the Bristol Channel. Much of the Cotswolds' designated area of outstanding natural beauty is based within the county. Rolling hills, farms and woodlands are home to an array of limestone-built towns and villages. Cheltenham is one of the county's major towns and was designed in the 18th century as a relaxation resort for wealthy visitors. Today, the legacy of its spa days can be seen in the impressive Regency architecture and inviting parks. The elegant Pitfield Pump Room was the last spa building to be constructed in the town, opening in 1830. In the north of the county and set in a conservation area, the market town of Chipping Campden is known for its 14th century high street, a masterpiece of limestone craftsmanship. In the Cotswolds, the village of Bybury clusters round a square near the Saxon Church of St Mary's. Near the river is Arlington Row, a charming group of 16th century cottages that so impressed American motor magnate Henry Ford that he tried to buy them to ship back to the United States. Thankfully, he failed, and they're still available on home turf for all to admire here, amidst the rest of Gloucestershire's glorious landscapes. When it comes to buying properties in beautiful Gloucestershire, the average price for a detached house here comes in at just over 10% above the national figure at £367,000. However, set your sights on the highly desirable Cotswold district with its idyllic villages and honey-stoned properties, and that average figure leaps to over £500,000. Fortunately for us, though, today's buyers are fairly flexible on that front, but family and work are still firmly on the radar. Nigel and Sharon have been together for over 32 years, and there's something rather unique and long-lasting about their relationship.
We've been engaged for 27 years, I think, about then. I've lost track of time. Had an engagement party, and one of our family friends at the time was a priest. He came, and I think Nigel thought he was going to get married there and then. But it wasn't, he was just coming to the party.
They currently live in Rayners Lane, a suburb of northwest London.
The house is a 1930s semi, 3-bedroom, semi-detached, with a garage which has now been converted into a study. 20 years here, I think we've done our time here. It's time to move on and experience something new.
Nigel's work takes him out of London, so the location of Gloucestershire plays a big part in the decision to focus their search in the county.
My work is either normally in Bristol or Birmingham, and London's not ideal for either of those, so I did looking to move somewhere between the two of them.
I think you're getting a bit fed up with commuting to and from Birmingham. Yeah. So that's really the reason why we've decided that now's probably a good time to move.
Since Sharon and Nigel's 2 grown-up children have now fled the nest, they can focus on themselves when it comes to choosing a property.
I think the house is primarily for us. We've been here now in our 50s, so it's a chance to sort of settle down, have a more adult house rather than sort of the family house. Yeah, the kids want to come and join us, they're more than welcome, but who knows where they're off to next.
Yeah, thanks for that.
What?
In our 50s.
Oh, come on! All right. OK, in our 30s...
Nigel is hoping that their new home will allow him to enjoy his passion for the open road.
I recently got into motorbiking again. I'm on to my second Harley Davidson now, and you need country roads to enjoy it. London's not the place for it, so my hope is, by being down there, I'm no more than sort of 15, 20 minutes away from lovely country roads that I can enjoy my motorbike on.
And he also wants a space at home for his tools.
One of the things I'm hoping for is to have enough space to create my own workshop. Basically, as external buildings, so I can make a noise, make a mess without having to disrupt the house, I think is the main thing on that side.
And also so you can play your music loud without annoying me.
Yeah, we were looking at houses, one that had an ex-recording studio in the garden, it was all soundproofed. I'm thinking, yep, that's ideal, I can go in there, I can't annoy anybody.
Nigel works regularly in Birmingham and Bristol, so Gloucestershire is convenient for both. Besides that, they're open to looking anywhere in the county, so I'm keen to meet them to discover more about their ideal property requirements. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful morning, isn't it?
Certainly is.
Gorgeous.
So, you'd like to have this on your doorstep?
I would like to have this on my doorstep.
Let's talk about your doorstep, or what it leads you to. How big's this house?
4 bedrooms,
OK.
detached.
Detached. You're upgrading then, aren't you? You've got a semi-detached at the moment.
Yeah.
What does a house look like? What sort of styles do you like?
More contemporary rather than old. I mean, not really into thatch and low doorways and beams. If you can find
You've not been to a lot of Gloucestershire, have you? There's a lot of old properties here as well.
It could be old, like old-looking.
Yeah.
But not too old on the inside.
How big a garden do you want?
I think it's manageable.
OK.
Low maintenance.
Are you a bit apprehensive about this move at all? It's a big move out of London.
It is a big move.
Yeah.
I've always lived in London, so this is a big thing.
What are you looking forward to most, then, for your life in the countryside?
Probably the community spirit thing.
Right.
Yeah, we hopefully sort of take part in some local events and sort of some festivals, fairs. I mean, we chatted to people yesterday, and it seems every village has a fair at some stage in the year, and just trying to get involved.
So where do you want this house to be set?
Ideally, not overlooked.
OK.
So I'm assuming that's going to be an edge of village location.
But you want it to be within a village?
Or if it's within the village but not too overlooked, then that's OK.
I want to get a sense of what you want this house to be. I mean, are you big cooks? Do you entertain a lot?
I'm not a great cook, but hopefully I will improve my cooking ability if I've got a nice big kitchen and stuff to do.
My missus said that if I built a new kitchen. I'm still waiting for the first lasagna. Let's talk budget. Nigel, what are we looking at?
Our budget for the move is £700,000.
All right. I've got 3 houses to show you. They're all going to be different. Ready to go?
I hope so, yep.
Really?
Come with me. With a generous budget of £700,000, Nigel and Sharon are looking for a detached 4-bedroom property. They'd like a manageable garden, along with a study to work from home. Nigel needs a garage for his beloved motorbike and hopes to find a workshop for his woodwork. Becoming part of community life is important to both of them, and their ideal house would be situated on the outskirts of a village. I've got a wide range of houses to show Nigel and Sharon, including a cracking conversion that I hope they'll find irresistible. After each of our tours, I'll be asking them to guess the price of the property before revealing it to them. Last but not least will be the mystery house, which takes their requirements into account, but will also give them an unexpected twist that I hope they'll both be bowled over by. We're starting our search in the village of Cole St Aldwins, which is in the eastern part of Gloucestershire. Situated on the River Colne, it's a traditional limestone Cotswold village and one of the most unspoilt examples in the area. Mainly comprised of 17th and 18th century cottages, it boasts a beautiful Grade II listed Norman church. It's a village that prides itself on community. The local shop is volunteer-run, with a substantial garden for residents to enjoy. It's based in a 16th century building once used as a poorhouse. The new inn provides a central gathering point for villagers, but will Sharon and Nigel be joining their ranks? This is the hub. Cold stores, it's got a post office, it's got a cafe, but it's a community-run store. Any profits that it does make goes toward good causes for the village.
Ah, excellent, just what we're
Good way
looking
to
for.
meet people.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, do you think you'd volunteer?
Definitely, yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
The good news for you, you've got a very short commute, because the house I want to show you is just here. Come with me.
Excellent.
Right then, house number 1. What do we think?
It looks really quaint, actually.
Good.
Really sweet little garden here at the front.
What's your first impressions, Nigel?
Possibly low ceilings is my first thought.
Yeah, you might not be a million miles from the truth. I'm going to be finding out a lot from you guys about what's acceptable, what you can get used to.
There's one other thing I've noticed here, you've got a gravel drive.
Yeah?
Which is not motorbike friendly.
We'll make a little path for you. How's that for your bike?
OK.
Yeah, is that all right?
OK.
He's happy.
There you go.
Shall we look inside?
Let's
Yeah.
do.
Come with me. Parts of this detached cottage date back to the mid-17th century, but recent owners have added more contemporary features to its interior. First, we're exploring the kitchen dining room on the right of the main entrance hallway. In we come. Now, Sharon, this is a room that you might be daunted with, a proper kitchen.
Yes, it's a really nice space. It's much bigger than the kitchen we've got at the moment,
Good, that's an improvement then.
which isn't hard. And I love the flooring.
Now then. I can see your eyes looking up, which normally is a positive thing, isn't it?
Except for when you have beams at that height. Yeah, coming around late at night, coming back from the pub, maybe.
The good thing, I think the shop do sell headache tablets.
Crash helmet.
Yeah, crash helmet, yeah.
Oh,
it could
crash
be-
helmet, so
Yeah.
we're all right for that. OK, apart from the ducking, though, it's a nice layout. I mean, it's got the breakfast bar and dining area.
You quite like this by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I do.
Are you surprised how much you like it?
I am, actually.
Let me show you the living room. Let me just squeeze past you here. Now, I call this a snug,
It's very snuggly.
Bijou.
but I think you spend a lot of time next door. This is just a winter
this
room.
The only...
Yes, it is.
Oh, OK. That's disappointing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, these are mid-18th century proportions.
It's smaller than the lounge at the moment, and Sharon's also aspired having a bigger lounge. She's
Right, OK.
very particular about your shape in your lounges, aren't you?
what shape does one prefer?
Well, I quite like to have a lounge where everything isn't stuck to the walls.
I understand. You want space.
I'm waiting for the wow bit.
Right, OK. Wow, this isn't as big as I'd hoped. There it is. Let me take you up to the bedroom. Maybe we'll get a wow there. Can I just squeeze through the middle here? Underneath us, extra space is on offer in the basement, which could be used as a music room for Nigel. The house has character features throughout, including exposed stone walls and original beams. Upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms in total. A single, as well as a double with feature fireplace, which both make use of a shower room, but we'll check out where Nigel and Sharon would sleep. Now, the master room is something that's been created by the current owners. This is a lovely suite, isn't it?
It is nice. Has it got a door?
No, it's got a sort of French feel to it.
Yeah, I don't mind the bath bit.
It's the other bit. Yeah. I know what you mean, actually. There is a family bathroom just next door.
Okay.
So you probably just have to ban him from using the loo.
Yeah.
Or maybe the other way around. Well, I don't know. At the moment, you seem to have gone down a level as we've gone up a level.
Yes.
Yeah, it started off well with the kitchen. This is a lot smaller than our bedroom.
Let's go downstairs. Let's go out to the garden. It's a beautiful garden. Start thinking about price. You'll have to lead the way because, well, we're all a bit crowded.
I'll duck.
Outside, a timber garage lies at the end of the driveway, handy for Nigel's beloved motorbike. The property is surrounded by a well-maintained garden with attractive borders, which, weather permitting, catches the sun throughout the day. So who's the big gardener here, then? Is it you, Sharon?
No.
Oh, it's you? No. It's not me.
Neither of us.
OK, so you want it fairly low maintenance.
This is probably top end of our level of maintenance, I think.
We prefer more lawn and
Oh, OK.
than lots of
No, I think-
flowers and stuff.
Big question, then. How much do you think this house is on the market for?
I would guess at £680,000.
OK, all right. Nigel?
I'll take a slightly more conservative. I'd like to think about 650.
This house is on the market for offers around £650,000.
Hey.
So, for a couple that don't know this part of the world very well, you're both pretty... Well, you're spot on, so well done. Go back in the house, have a good look around on your own, and I will meet you whenever you're done. All right?
Okay.
See you shortly.
Thank you.
This traditional Cotswold stone cottage is on the market for £650,000, a comfortable £50,000 under Nigel and Sharon's budget. It features 3 bedrooms on the first floor, including an impressive master ensuite. There's a characterful kitchen, diner and living room. Outside, the property is surrounded by a well-tended garden, and it's situated in a thriving village.
Well, what do you think of a possible study then?
Stairs are a bit dodgy. I think I'll probably end up breaking my neck on there. It's a bit claustrophobic. I think the property is lovely. It's a really nice, cosy property, but perhaps a bit too cosy for us.
I like the style of it. I love the country feel, but comes with that as beams, which is a no-no for me.
So, all done inside?
Yes, thank you.
How was your first house in this part of the world?
It was an interesting experience, but a bit small.
Not for you.
No.
OK, let's try and go bigger, shall we? Come in, mate.
Okay.
With its mellow, honey-coloured villages, gentle hills and peaceful pastures, it's hard to imagine that some 300 years ago, the Cotswolds was the setting for bloody battles and violent clashes during the years of the English Civil War. And one property which played a key part in those events was Chavenage House. Keen to explore the county's rich historical roots, Sharon and Nigel are meeting with Caroline Lowsley Williams, a member of the family who have resided in Chavenage since the mid-19th century.
You've got a beautiful house here. When was it built?
Various periods. Iconically, the front is Elizabethan, but this middle section is 1390.
Wow.
So that's medieval, and then it's gradually got bigger.
Oh, and who built it?
Well, the actual house was built by a chap called Edward Stevens. The Cotswolds was built on the back of the sheep, and he'd made his money out of the sheep.
It was Stevens who gave Chavenage the classic Elizabethan look that is still preserved to this day.
It was very much involved in the English Civil War, but there's a lot of history in the house, and so come and have a look.
Oh, excellent.
Chavenage's historic hallmarks are visible throughout the house. Carvings of Edward Stevens' initials are a reminder of his involvement in the renovations. Caroline is taking them to one room which has a unique connection with the turbulence of the English Civil War.
So this is our noted room. Oliver Cromwell was a visitor here in 1648.
It is amazing. I love the tapestry.
The English Civil War was fought between 1642 and 1651 over the power of the monarchy versus the rights of Parliament. Oliver Cromwell was one of the principal Republican commanders and became ruler of the Commonwealth of England after the exile of King Charles II.
And what role did his house play in the Civil War?
During the Civil War, this house really punched above its weight because this was a parliamentarian or Roundhead supporter in a mainly royalist area. And in 1645, in the middle of the Civil War, this house had all the Roundheads based here. Our ghost story comes from that period. The house here was owned by an MP. He refused to sign the death warrant of Charles I, but he was persuaded eventually by Cromwell to change his mind. And when he died, he was taken away in a coach which had a headless horseman.
Wow, spooky.
Have you discovered any remnants of the Civil War here?
Actually, the most interesting is next door. If you'd like to go back that way, we found some swords, etc.
Cromwell's son-in-law and second-in-command was General Ireton, still remembered here.
If you come into this room, this is General Ireton's room.
You've got a good collection of weapons in here.
So this was a Civil War sword. This was a foot soldier's sword. Interestingly, it's double-sided. But what's really interesting, do you see here the very pronounced blood groove? Apparently, if you plunge a sword into somebody's belly, that's great. The difficulty is when you try to withdraw it, you've created a vacuum. And it was the New Model Army were the first people to put these grooves down the blades of swords. But have a feel of that. It's well balanced. So this is a Civil War pike. A pikesman would march to war like this, get in position, pike into the ground, and then put the foot behind it, and then hold it like this. So a cavalry attack would come on a wall of steel,
Pretty
Again,
gruesome time.
arguably, Cromwell eventually won because he was a better organiser and procured better weapons. These are coaching blunderbusses. They're muzzle loading, and these would be on top of a carriage. You'd put your shot in there, well, with powder first, ram it, and then you'd put your shot, pull your thing back, aim, and fire.
So what sort of range do they have then?
Very little, and also very inaccurate. So that's why you still had arm-to-arm combat in the Civil War. It was a quicker way of killing people.
Well, thank you very much for showing us the weapons and around these rooms.
Yeah, not at all, yeah.
Having journeyed through time in one of the county's most historic homes, it's time to return to the present day to find Sharon and Nigel their very own country manor in this part of the world. Our next stop is in the small village of Eldersfield, which just strays over the county border into Worcestershire. 3 miles away, the village of Staunton offers a local pub and community hall. Eldersfield is also home to a charming 12th century sandstone church. Situated off a quiet lane, our second property is a sympathetically converted agricultural building. A very different kettle of fish, a bit more privacy, and maybe a bit more property.
Definitely.
I like this. I know it's all on one level by the looks of things. I'm sure there isn't anything hidden back.
It is all on one level.
Yeah, that's not a problem.
But also, motorbike mad, Nigel. Hello, double garage.
Yeah, I had caught my eye, yes, double garage. Very nice.
Good, good, good. Now, the style of this was, well, essentially it's a cow barn. Predates back a good couple of 100 years. And then converted to residential accommodation about 20-odd years ago.
OK. It looks really, really nice.
Excellent. Let's get on inside. Come with me. This single-storey barn conversion has 2 distinct wings, featuring a living room, kitchen and dining room to the left of the entrance hall, while to the right, the bedrooms are accessed off a single corridor. Nigel, you'll be relieved to see that you will not be banging your head unless you've got your really high heels on.
That's a fine height, that is. No problem there.
Then it's got a really nice space. You can actually spread furniture out a bit. And it's a lot wider than I expected.
No, this is definitely bigger than what we have.
Good.
Length and width.
Could you see yourselves living in this kind of house? I know it's only the first room, but you get a sense when you walk through the front door sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, no, it's nice. Cosy, but not small cosy.
I think it's missing here, I think it's the focal point, though.
I would suggest that you'd stick a fireplace that bottom end.
Yeah, it's good size.
Let me show you the kitchen. Come with me. Oh, a very versatile room, this. You can do all sorts with it.
Oh, this is a nice space. I like the fact that you can have a sofa in here, as well as the table and the kitchen, so it's all one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a waste. I mean, I think they probably could have a cricket net along here. It's so long, couldn't they? But, you know, OK, if you want a dining table, then fine, go for it.
Yeah, that's a good-sized kitchen, plenty of... Oh, down there, I notice.
Plenty of room for cooking there, Sharon.
Yes.
Yep,
No pressure.
no pressure.
Let me take you to the bedroom end of the property. Thank you, sir.
OK.
There are 4 bedrooms altogether, including a bright single, a double, along with a family bathroom complete with roll-top bath. But we're heading past these to the master. Right at the far end of the property, you find bedroom number 3.
3, as in there are only 3 bedrooms.
Not necessarily,
OK.
because through that door there's a further ensuite bedroom,
OK.
number 4. So you've got 4 bedrooms, but it means that someone will be walking through this bedroom.
I like the sort of the architecture and stuff inside here. I really like the house, but there's something, and I can't put my finger on it,
OK.
that I'm not sure about.
Well, if you can't put your finger on it, I have no chance. Stay with this house. Let's go back outside, because I think the outside space here will really suit you. Let me just squeeze through here, sir. Thank you very much. Outside, the garden runs the whole length of the house and has been designed for ease of maintenance. It provides a variety of seating areas from which to take in the surrounding countryside. Now, a lot more garden, but look at that. Views of the Malvern Hills.
Gorgeous.
For you, when you work in there, Nigel, that's a home office.
OK.
Right then, Nigel, guess the price.
I'd put the price of this at £625,000.
Right, OK.
I think probably £675,000.
Right. This house is on the market for £565,000.
Okay, that's a surprise.
We're outside of the Cotswolds. That really helps. What do you think, then?
I'm still not sure that it's us. Don't know whether it's just that it's so different to what we've got at the moment.
What about the area, then? It sits quite nicely into your commute to Bristol and Birmingham.
The sort of main village is a little bit away.
4 minutes in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our hope would be sort of a pub in walking distance.
Yeah. I think you should go back into the house, have a good look at this place on your own. Go. See you in a bit.
Okay.
Significantly under budget at £565,000, this single-storey detached barn conversion has a generous-sized kitchen and living area and features 4 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The manageable garden enjoys spectacular views over the Malvern Hills, and the outbuildings provide both office and garage space for Nigel.
I love the kitchen diner. This really works. I really like this. I'm not sure if I can see myself living here as it stands. The area is lovely. It's beautiful, beautiful area. But the actual house, I'm not sure if it's right for us.
It's a different style of house for me. I'm just not familiar with it in terms of having sort of everything laid out on one floor. It's also a bit disjointed in terms of the studies over the other side of the property, and there's the house over here. It just doesn't flow for me.
So have you figured out what it is yet, this X factor, this thing that's stopping you moving forward?
No, not really. Could be us.
It could be you, but I tell you what, you've got 2 good houses to think about tonight. So sleep on it, talk about everything, maybe over a bottle. Yeah?
Yeah, sounds a good plan.
Let's go. It's the second day of my house search in Gloucestershire with Sharon and Nigel, who want to make the break from the London suburbs and buy a home in the country with their £700,000 budget. Coming up, I show them a mystery house which clearly confounds preconceptions. In we come.
It's really pretty.
And I face one of my fears at speed as I take to the skies. Now isn't a great time to tell you I don't really like flying. Okay. Goodness me! For Sharon and Nigel, house number 2 was coming out on top yesterday. But as they left, I knew something wasn't working for them. And even Sharon herself said she couldn't quite put her finger on why. So I know that doesn't help me a great deal in finding them the right house, which is where the mystery property comes in. It challenges our buyers' expectations. It offers them something a little bit different. And in doing so, that can often flush out what our buyers are looking for. So let's see how we go. Now for the mystery house.
Yeah.
It's often something a bit unexpected. Would it be bad if it was thatched?
Yes.
Why?
Don't know, I just don't feel myself living in a thatched house. It's not really...
That is not an answer. Would it be bad if it was thatched? Yes. Why? I don't know.
Well, they normally come with low beams.
Right, OK. Well, we're getting somewhere. Thankfully, Sharon's here. The mystery house is located in the parish of Norton, which sits between Gloucester and the medieval market town of Tewkesbury. Tewkesbury has been a thriving commercial hub for centuries. Its history is reflected in an eclectic mix of architectural styles. Medieval cottages rub shoulders with Tudor townhouses and Georgian buildings. The town is dominated by its 12th century abbey. Consecrated in 1121, it's widely admired as having one of the finest surviving Norman towers in the world. A 15-minute drive away, our mystery house is located in the quiet hamlet of Priors Norton, close to the Church of St Mary's, founded in the 13th century. Nearby, the mystery property comes with a character all of its own. In we come.
A thatch.
A thatch. Not all thatch, but yes,
thatch.
there is thatch.
A little bit of thatch. It's really pretty. Really, really. I love the windows.
This thatch was done 6 years ago.
OK.
This is a water reed thatch, which means it will last for 40 years.
Oh, OK. It's really pretty. I'm just wondering about the beams inside.
Well, let's go and have a look, shall we?
Okay.
Come with me. Have some faith. A small hallway opens directly onto the dining room. I just want to quickly pause here to point out the main feature.
Would that be the fireplace?
Gorgeous, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Lovely.
Very Christmassy, this room.
Yeah. Stick a Christmas tree in the corner.
Come on. The kitchen is perhaps not what you're expecting. On 2 levels.
Yeah. It is a bit smaller than I'd hoped for.
But you've seen a fantastic dining room next door, haven't you?
Yeah. And there's a bit more space in here for a table than in our current kitchen, isn't there?
I'm listening to you talk about this room and you're making compromises, and we haven't had that conversation in the previous 2 houses, which suggests that you've already seen things that you like.
Yeah, there's enough good features so far.
Haven't seen any beams yet, have we?
No.
Should you have a look for some? See if you can bang your head, Nigel.
Okay.
At the far end of the hallway is the living room, built as an extension which really raises the roof. I bet you weren't expecting this room, were you?
Definitely not.
No.
Where does this come from?
The 1980s.
Okay.
It was built then anyway. That comes from Italy, that amazing marble. It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a
That's
feature.
Yeah.
You can walk around the back of the furniture.
Yes.
Somewhere to put the Christmas tree.
What do you think your son and daughter would think?
I think they'd approve.
They might be surprised, though, because it's
Yes.
so different to our current house.
I haven't seen any bedrooms yet. I haven't seen a study yet.
OK, I'll show you then.
Go then.
If you're going to be like that, come with me. Also on the ground floor, there's a utility room and WC, along with the first of 4 bedrooms, which benefits from its own ensuite. Off the upstairs landing are 2 more, consisting of a single and the other which could be used by Nigel as his office, along with a guest shower room. But we're heading straight for the master bedroom. You said you wanted views from part of the house.
Yep.
Look at those there.
They definitely have views from here.
That's a good view, yes.
Bit of a bath thing going on behind me.
This is part of the world. A lot of people like to sleep where they bathe and vice versa. Do you like it, Sharon?
I do like it. I'm still getting my head around the whole layout and everything else. I think if it was just the thatch section, which I assume is the original, that would be too small.
That would have been probably the rector's accommodation.
For the church.
Yeah. So we like this.
Yes.
Yes.
So now we're going to go out to the garden. We're going to discuss price. You're playing for pride, Sharon.
Thanks.
Adjoining the downstairs bedroom is a spacious garden room with French doors, which could either be used for storage or converted into a relaxing indoor patio area. The property has spectacular views and a well-tended garden. What's more, I'm sure Nigel will be pleased to hear that there's a garage to house his motorbike. Now look back at this house with that church peeping over the ridge and tell me you don't like it.
Yeah, I think we both like it, don't we?
Yeah, surprised ourselves. I mean, yes, it wasn't what we asked for, but...
That's the mystery house, isn't it?
Indeed.
Typical mystery house.
Yes, I think so. Can you guess the price then?
Something like £660,000.
OK.
I think we're nearer £680,000.
Right. Well, this place is on the market for £595,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't 100% believe you know what you're looking for, and I don't mean that in any disparaging way.
No, we probably don't.
This is, you know, this is a voyage of discovery. But I think this has pulled out a few key issues and a few key facets to what your search could be pertaining to in the future. If not, the end result. Go back into the house.
OK,
Catch you later on.
see you later.
On the market for £595,000, the mystery property is over £100,000 under Nigel and Sharon's maximum budget. This part-thatched cottage has 4 bedrooms, 2 with ensuite bathrooms, a large main reception with vaulted ceilings, a kitchen and breakfast room, and a separate dining area. It's at the edge of the village and situated on a hill, which provides impressive views over the surrounding countryside. There's no dedicated workshop, but Nigel and Sharon definitely have enough money left over to build one.
That's a good sized room,
Yeah, I think I'd rather have this one
I think.
for our bedroom.
We've got a bit of view.
We've got a view out to the garden, which is nice.
I think we could see ourselves living here. It has the privacy, it has the space for cars, it has a lovely location for study and great views of the countryside from almost every room.
I'm not sure if I can see myself living here. I think if I sit down and think about it properly and go through it room by room, I will probably be able to, talk myself into it. It's so different to our current house. It's really hard to imagine us in a house like this.
Who would have thought it? Nigel and Sharon enjoying looking around a thatched property.
Yes.
You did, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
OK, something to think about then, hopefully, and consider.
Yep.
Let's go. Spanning some 800 square miles, the Cotswolds is well known for its unspoilt, undulating countryside. Today I'm lucky enough to be getting a unique and rather thrilling perspective on this jewel of the English landscape. Here at the Cotswold Gliding Club, 250 members regularly take to the skies under the expert eye of Chief Flying Instructor Jerry Holden. Jerry.
Hello, Johnny.
I'm hoping I've picked a splendid day for gliding.
Absolutely cracking.
How did it all come about as a pastime?
What's happened is the early flight pioneers really started off with unpowered aircraft, so gliders, effectively.
Sure.
The biggest leap in gliding really happened after the First World War, in that the Germans weren't allowed to have powered aircraft under the Versailles Treaty.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened was they built gliders, and they used those to train all their pilots. And round about the mid-30s, it started to catch on as a pastime rather than something like a profession.
Now, I understand they also played a big part in the Second World War as well, didn't they?
Yes,
gliders.
yes. I mean, gliding in the Second World War was really about landing, instead of putting paratroopers in,
right.
you'd put them in the back of a glider. And the famous Arnhem landings, of course, were that. And they also used them to carry small jeeps and motorcycles, and I believe there was one designed for a light tank. These were big, and they were towed behind Halifax bombers.
How do they stay up there for so long?
Essentially, what you have is the sun heats the ground.
Yeah.
The ground heats the air above it. Mm-hmm. It rises.
Yeah.
Forming a thermal, which you could think of as a column of rising air. And usually each one of these cumulus clouds that you can see, there will be a column of air underneath it. And you would generally fly from cloud to cloud.
Now, I understand I'm very fortunate enough to be getting a lesson from you today.
Yes.
Show me the weapon.
Right, OK.
Let's go.
Well, let's have a look at the glider.
The Cotswold Gliding Club is based at Aston Down Airfield, which used to be an RAF base and initially saw action during the First World War. When I woke up this morning, on the way to work, I wasn't expecting to put a parachute on. You know, I've looked at these from the ground. They look very simple craft, if you like. Sat in it, there's lots going on, isn't there?
Yeah, they're still, by aircraft standards, fairly simple. You've got the basic controls. You've got a stick, which controls pitch and also turning.
All right. Well, if I make funny noises, just carry on regardless.
Don't worry.
The gliders are winched into the air by a steel cable attached to a powerful engine at the end of the runway. Now isn't a great time to tell you I don't really like flying.
OK, well,
goodness me!
Well, I mean, speed good, 60 knots, 70 knots, rotating into the main part of the climb now. 75 knots, laying off the drift. Now, if you'd like to look, you can see the 7 to your left. Speed's good, 2 gliders over there thermally. And that's the end of the launch. I'm going to lower the nose, 2 pulls on the cable, that goes, and we're going to go and fly with those 2 gliders over there that are thermaling.
Of course we are. I mean, the Cotswolds is known for its patchwork of fields, but this is something else. It's absolutely stunning.
And there we're in a bit of sinking air as well. There's some more lift.
Whoa!
Let's have that, shall we? If you'd like to just try that one, so you have control.
I have control.
We'll try a turn now to the right. So look to the left, make sure it's clear. Look right round to the right, look above us, look ahead, and now move the stick to the right. That's it. It won't bite you, I won't let it.
Oh, that's good.
A little bit of back pressure on the stick. You see the nose is dropping in the turn. That's it, that's good. Lovely. Excellent.
I'm flying a glider.
You're flying a glider. Take a little bit of bank off, so move the stick to the left. That's it. OK, excellent stuff. So what we're going to do now, Johnny, if the nose is above the horizon, it stalls, so ease the stick forward.
Oh!
Thank you.
Yep.
Lovely. So now you can see I'm just making an approach down to here, keeping the wings level, maintaining ideally about 55 knots, and the glider's sinking. Now transfer, look up at the airfield. I'm now going to hold it off, Touchdown. Got that brake. And there we go. And that's the landing.
Wow. Well, I've got to tell you, to take control of this amazing machine, it was fantastic. Thank you very, very much.
Now, it's an absolute pleasure, Johnny.
Admittedly, it was a bit of a gamble showing Nigel and Sharon a thatched property, but yet again, the Mystery House has worked its charms. Whether, however, it's done enough to warrant a second viewing, well, let's find out. Well, I think that the Mystery House has just edged house number 2. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, probably more than edged.
Oh, what? Good, good. That's an emphatic yes from both of you.
Definitely.
Good. What's made it stand heads and shoulders above house 2 then?
I think probably the space in it, the layout was much better.
Yeah, but it has a lot of scope.
What's next then?
I think we're probably going to need to have a few more days of looking around, actually getting to know the area, and then make a decision.
What's holding you back with the Mystery House then?
If you could take the Mystery House and put it in the first village, or the edge of that first village, then got a deal.
Now we're getting somewhere, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first village was lovely. I really liked the first village.
Yeah.
Community shop, the whole sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's something to get involved with. I'm not sure you have the same opportunities in the Mystery House's location.
How are you going to move forward then from here? Sharon?
We definitely need to find the location that we want to be in, rather than the house first.
Yeah. Search on. Hopefully you've taken something from this.
It's been
And
really good.
Whatever you do, please let us know what and where you decide on buying.
We will.
And thank you very much for the time we've taken us showing these new properties.
Yeah, it's been a really good experience.
My pleasure. Good luck.
Thank you.
When you have a couple that are so flexible over a location and indeed what kind of property they're looking for, they can often find it difficult to put their finger on what works and indeed what doesn't. And I think that's been the case over these past couple of days. But that's not to say Nigel and Sharon haven't moved forward in their search. They have. They've seen the benefit of character properties. I think they've warmed to the idea in living in an older house. But what they need to do now is focus on the position of that property. I personally think they'd be better looking at a small market town, perhaps with a rural feel, or a larger village. That, I think, will make their move from the big smoke of London a lot more comfortable. Looking forward to finding out what happens next. See you next time. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland and need our help, you can apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.